Ever wonder what it's like to test drive a Tesla? Well, we're going to take you through the entire process. We're going to schedule it and drive a brand new Tesla Model Y right here in the Quad Cities. Okay, guys, today we're going to go on a little drive. We're going over to the Holiday Inn on Elmore to test drive a brand new Model Y using the Tesla test drive program. I am curious what it's like to drive a Model Y. I've owned this Model Y or this Model 3 Highland now for just over a year. I really enjoy it, but I just want to get a feel for what the brand new Model Y Juniper is like. So we're just going to go over there and take it for a little test drive. We're using full self-driving right now to get us there. So it's just a short drive over there. It's probably going to take us, let's see, 10 minutes to get there, and our appointment is for 1:30. So, yeah, it's pretty easy to search for the vehicle that you want. You just basically go to tesla.com/drive. It will bring up the closest location that you could potentially take a test drive. You can select from a Model Y, Model 3, Model S, Model X, or even a Cybertruck, but not all vehicles are available in every area. So it could be, depending on where you live, you may or may not be able to see a Model Y or a Model 3, but most likely those will be everywhere. The Model S, X, and Cybertrucks are probably very rare and probably only at Tesla facilities. So, yeah, so we basically had to search for our location, which was in Davenport at the Holiday Inn on Elmore. We selected the Model Y. It showed us the date and time, which was 1:30. So we're going to be there for a 1:30 appointment. And then there's basically no obligation. It's free. It takes 2 minutes to set up the schedule and to add it to the application if you already own a Tesla, or if you don't own a Tesla, you'll have to set up an account. They have you send in information like the front and back of your driver's license, and they have you also record yourself, basically your face from the left and right and straight on. And it's pretty straightforward, not very difficult. You get to rent the car or basically use the car for 2 hours. They do ask you to charge it for about 20 minutes in that 2 hour period that you have it. Um, and that's about it. So you don't have to really talk to a salesperson. They just call anyway, I think, once you've booked, but there's no call with a salesperson. There won't be a salesperson there. Um, there's no need for a deposit. You literally just pick up and the your time, you pick your time and you just show up. So we'll see exactly what that's like. So we're just going to let full self-driving take us to this location where we can do the test drive, and then uh, we'll see how things go. So we just got off on Kimberly Drive. We're going to make a right on to Elmore here in a bit, and we're going to head up, go past the Sam's, go past the Lowe's, and then on the right there'll be a Holiday Inn, and the cars should be parked in the back of the lot of the Holiday Inn. At least that's where it was when I test drove a Model 3 for the first time over a year ago. So hopefully everything is the same situation. We shall see. Okay, there's the Holiday Inn over there on the right. We're going to be taking a right into the lot here, and then we're just gonna head to the back of the lot. We'll just take over from full self-driving just to expedite the maneuver to the back of the lot and to the test drive vehicles. So, yep, just go past Home Goods here and straight past the back. We'll just take over early because it wanted to go into Home Goods. I don't know. It probably wanted to go around the other side of the Holiday Inn, but we're just going to go ahead and go straight. Um, And you can see there's a number of Tesla vehicles straight ahead, a couple of black ones, looks like a Model 3 and a Model Y. So I take it that black Model Y is going to be the vehicle we will be taking for a little drive. All right, put it in park and gather my belongings and go do some recording. Okay, so here we are. We're at the back of the Holiday Inn here, and we're just going to be going for a test drive here. So you can see the two Tesla vehicles for test drives are right here in the back of the lot. There's the Model Y for test drives, and there's a Model 3 for test driving. And if you want to know exactly where it's at, there's the Holiday Inn. The Home Goods is on the other side of it. And then, yeah, so this is the Tesla test drive vehicles. That's a Tesla Model 3 Highland, and this is a Tesla Model 3 Juniper model. Looks like a dual motor. You can see it's got some nice rims on it. Looks like it's a black interior. And let's take a look at the front here. So you can see the front. It's got the camera down there on the bottom. It's got the bar light that goes all the way around the front of the vehicle, and it's got these little scoops here for airflow to go through on the left and right sides. Yeah, and that's what we're going to be taking for a drive. So let's get on it, get on in it. I don't know why. Let's just take a look around and see what kind of space it has. The trunk opening is back here. So you can see here it's got the cover for the back, the rear space. There's still space underneath and lots of space in the trunk. And of course, the seats, they fold down with the push of a button, and just like that. And then you can see the front seat moves forward and then comes back. And then we can put them both back up just the same way. And let's just shut the trunk here. And yeah, see, it has a rear screen. Main screen. Let's just get inside. Okay, so we're in the Model Y now. This is our test drive vehicle. Um, so they basically start you out when you go on your test drive with everything that you need to know, so you can go through um, setting up the Model Y with the online guide. So they have this online guide when you get in it. So you can explore your Model Y. It tells you about the seat adjustments. I feel like I'm pretty good where I'm at. The mirror adjustments, you can adjust the left and right mirrors easily, basically with the scroll wheels on the steering wheel. Same thing with the left and right. You can adjust the steering wheel as well. You can like move it left, right, up, and down. So that pushes the steering wheel in and out, and scroll up and down to adjust the height. And then, yeah, they give you the homepage layout so you understand how the UI of a Tesla works. And so you have your settings here. You can go into the navigation, tells you about how the navigation works and what the actual icons mean on the right there. We've got charging locations where you can go. We've got the status bar, talks about what the status bar is, the lock, unlock, sentry mode, the profile for the driver, whether you have Wi-Fi or not. And then the temperature control, which is down here on the bottom, so you can make yourself nice and toasty. You can change your dynamics, so you can do reduced deceleration or standard. I like it in standard. That's what I'm kind of used to. And then you've got your steering wheel, light, standard, or heavy. We'll just keep everything standard for today's test drive. And then a little bit about full self-driving. So it is supervised. You can drive the Tesla almost anywhere under your active supervision. It will make lane changes, select forks to follow your navigation route, navigate around other vehicles and objects, and make left and right turns. So yeah, it's you just press the wheel button to activate it. In the Model Y Highland, we do have a turn stalk as well. You can switch between chill, standard, or hurry, and you can adjust the maximum speed. Well, that's not necessarily true anymore. Maybe this is an older version of the FSD software, but maximum speed is not really adjustable anymore in the latest versions of FSD. It's just got the chill, the sloth chill, standard, hurry, or Mad Max modes now. So left is the brake, right is the accelerator, and shift into drive. This is how you do the shift, so you can slide up, and to go into reverse, you just pull it down, and to put it into park, you just hold it. So yeah, so this is just kind of giving you the idea of how things work. You have high beams, low beams, you have your rear camera view, you have a voice commands, and you have the autopilot as well. Let's go on. So hazard and flashing lights up above here. So there's a light for the passenger and for the driver, as well as a hazard light. And also up there is the park, reverse, neutral, or drive. Should for some reason something be wrong with the vehicle in an emergency, you can use the Prindle up above. All right, Explorer now. Now let's go on. All right, so let's just go ahead and take a look at what we're using here. We got everything set up. We got dynamics set to whatever we wanted. We've got charging. We're at 71%. So we will need to charge a little bit for them. Self-driving stats. How many self-driving stats? We got seats, display. So the seats are heated too and heated in the rear. They're actually cooled as well in the front. We have our display, brightness, whatnot. We have our schedule and our safety, so we can actually come in here and see. Yeah, schedule, safety. We have the tire pressure. software, navigation, trips, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and audio. So from a software perspective, this vehicle is running 2025 4425.5, and it's on full self-driving 14.2.1.25. So at least we're on a later version of FSD, so that's a good thing. If we're on 14.1, it'd be a little bit more concerning. But yeah, let's just get into a drive. Let's set our destination. Let's see if we can use Grok. Hey Grok, I want to go to the Superchargers up by the Hy-Vee, and then to Best Buy, and then return back here to the Holiday Inn.
Got your route set. Supercharger on East 53rd Street in Davenport, then Best Buy on Elmore Avenue, back to Holiday Inn and Suites on Elmore Avenue. 7 minutes total, 1.8 miles.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and start our drive. We can check the odometer is at 428 for this test car, the demo car. Um, Everything looks good. Tires look good. Everything is fine. I think we should be okay to head on out. So let's just start self-driving. We'll just let it go. Let it do what it's going to do and see where it takes us. So yeah, I'm just curious as to like how the Model Y performs, how it feels compared to a Model 3. It actually you sit a little bit higher than the Model 3. The Model 3 sits pretty low. So as a driver and a passenger, you always feel like you're kind of like down on the ground almost. And for me, being 58, almost 59 in a few more months here,
Turn right onto Elmore
I feel like maybe I should have got a Model Y. I would have probably waited for the Juniper to come out to get this, but it was like another year before that happened. But yeah, I uh, just getting older, not being in the best shape, although that's going to be a New Year's resolution or a plan for the next 1 year is to get into shape and lose some weight. And maybe
Now turn right
even
onto
just
Elmore
getting
Avenue.
older, though, I feel like getting in and out of the Model 3 is a little harder for me. Also, like getting in and out of the back seats for adults is not super easy, but with the Model Y, everything is very much roomier, right? So much easier to get around and much easier to, um, you know, just get in and out of the vehicle easy. With the Model 3, it's always a challenge to get my rear end up out of the seat and to get it back in. And sometimes I have older people with me and they also don't like trying to get in and out of it. So yeah, if you're older and you have maybe you're taking care of older people, it's probably a good idea to look at the Model Y versus the Model 3. So yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on the two vehicles. So far, FSD in the demo car is doing a great job. Definitely can tell that it's quieter in here, just like it was in the Model 3. I had been in other Model Ys and Model 3s before,
Onto East 53rd Street.
and so it's significantly quieter because they have double pane glass now, and also the Model Y comes with pre-tinted rear windows, and the sunroof is pre-tinted as well. So it's very dark, and it has this like reflective quality about the sunroof too. So it does reflect heat and sunlight when it's during the middle of the summer. So that's a nice feature. But overall, the feel of this Model Y is pretty good. I like what I'm seeing. Um, Obviously, that was a little bit harder brake than I would like, but that's because we're in an older version of FSD, but it's still pretty smooth all around. So, so far, uneventful drive. We're just kind of tooling our way over here to the Hy-Vee and to the Superchargers. Let's just make sure Grok knows that we want to go to the Superchargers. Hey, Grok, when I get to Hy-Vee, I actually want to go to the Superchargers.
Sure, let's head to the Hy-Vee Superchargers instead. I'll search for them near you right now. Got the Tesla Supercharger at 4064 East 53rd Street in Davenport, just zero point 0.4 miles away. Want me to set it as your destination?
Yes.
Route set to the Supercharger at Hy-Vee on East 53rd Street in Davenport.
Well,
0.5.
Thank you, Grok.
You're welcome.
Now, that's unfortunate that the windows would try to clean themselves right now. It's made it a little bit harder to see through the window, but we'll fix that when we get to this light here. We'll try to get some fluids on it and try to clean it up a bit, and hopefully it won't look as trashy. So maybe not. Yeah, it's just a little cold outside. It's 23 degrees, so it's kind of hard to get snow and ice off the windows. So you're just going to have to deal with what you're seeing on the windshield. I'm sorry about that, but I didn't have a choice because FSD decided, I think, to turn on the wipers here. I'm just going to turn it off, make sure it's turned off. So to do that, you just push the windshield wiper button and you can scroll up and down to set the speed of the wipers or to turn them completely off. So yeah, when we get to the Superchargers, we're going to go ahead and just do a little bit of footage and recording of what this vehicle is like. Maybe open the frunk and the trunk, and just take a look around and get more into what this car looks like on the inside.
Now your destination is on the left.
So here we are at the Superchargers at the Hy-Vee on 53rd, and looks like we're just going to try to find ourselves a spot, and the car will back in and pull into a spot for us. A little hard to see the lines right now because of the snow on the ground, but in general, good enough. Okay, so out of order stalls 3B and 4B. Which one am I? It's hard to tell. So we will, we're just going to move over to another spot because maybe this one is not working. So I'm going to go ahead and move over here. I don't know if the car knows what spots are bad. Oh, yes. 4. So I'm doing the self-driving now. So I'm basically parking in a different spot here. We're going to go ahead and pull in. You can easily see the parking spot because it's got this nice rear view cameras. So we should be able to get right here. And let's go ahead and put it in park and go ahead and take a look around. Okay, so we're at 4B at the Hy-Vee parking lot here. Just charging this up for a while. While we're doing this, we're going to take a look around the vehicle and see what there is to see. So a lot of times with Teslas during the winter, you just have to push on the part here and then push there. And that will make it so they can open up. So just like that. And this one's already open. let's just take a look around. So yeah, so you have the Alcantara on the doors. You have this nice trim piece on the dash here. There are LED lights that go all the way around the front and to the rear seats. Um, let's take a look at the rest of the interior here. So we have our front pocket, which you can see they're pretty deep. So that's why I recommend buying some Jawwoot drawers for your center console, and you can see those in my other videos where I do product reviews. You also have a little space here under the armrest where there's also a nice deep pocket, and you can see the USB-C charging port there. You have these two cup holders. It is all vegan leather perforated seats here. And you can play games. So you could also buy the Jawwoot controller and a Lakeland USB hub to put in the glove box. So yeah, you can open the glove box just by pushing the microphone button here and saying open glove box. And there's the glove box, which is opened up. You can see there's a little USB drive in the back there, but in general, there's no way to close the glove box through the car's voice commands. So we just have to push that back up. Yeah, and let's see what else we could show you. So the menu has like Tron mode, so you can go into Tron mode and do the Let's Ride Tron mode. And you can also change it to the paint shop and customize the vehicle. You can choose a wrap for your car. So if you want to be a camouflage wrap, we can do that. We can also go and turn off the Tron mode. Let's go back there and turn that back off. Let's see, there's our custom wrap that we put on it. You can also create your own wraps for the screen. I had a friend who has a kid, and she thought when she changed the car to pink that it would remain pink when she got out, but the outside was still blue. So she was a little disappointed in that. We have the light sync, so we can turn on the accents lights. So here we just turn those on, and we can choose whatever color we want. So we'll go with this nice red here. And you can also turn on the rave cave. You can do a light sync show. So like if you want to play a, a vehicle light sync or light show, that's over here. You can schedule a show. You can also switch to Santa mode and do Jingle All the Way. So that gives you this cool looking sled here. And when you're driving, it's all like reindeer and elves for people. But yeah, you can do that. You can also spread the cheer outside if you want to play the song outside as well. You have this fun emissions thing where you can make it do little toot sounds everywhere. You have the boom box where you can play sounds outside, tracks where you can make music yourself. You can have a romantic fireplace here. Nice and cold outside, we might need that. And then you have a sketch pad, and then you can also make your vehicle look like it's on Mars. That's pretty much everything there is in there. So yeah, let's take a look at the other menu options. So you can see there are lots of choices for how you can play music. You can use Apple Music, Live One, the radio, your Bluetooth connection, Spotify. You have a browser where you can visit the internet and look at things while you're on the road. A lot of these things won't work if you are driving, but you can still play like music, and I use Spotify quite a bit when I'm out on a drive. Yeah, so let's take a look at the back seats here and see what we got. Okay, the rear seats, the Alcantara on the door again. Nice and roomy here. You've got plenty of room in here. Let's just get in here and take a look. Let's see, here's the armrest with a couple cup holders in the middle. We have our rear hatch back there with our cover so we can keep things kind of hidden as we're out in public and doing whatever we're doing for the day. But if we just get in here and take a look and see what this is like. And then you have plenty of knee space. I'm not very tall. I'm about 5'7", 5'8", but I do have the seat kind of back far, but there's plenty of room here for my head as well. You can see there's a rear screen where you can control the air conditioning, and you can also do other things like play videos on YouTube or whatever. So you can use this screen back here too, so you can watch Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, Twitch, or watch the Tesla tutorials back here. Yeah, so that's kind of what you can do in the rear seat. Let's see, you also have games, and we have the settings where you can connect your Bluetooth devices. You got music. We got our seat adjustment, so we can, like, if we need to make more room and there's nobody in the front right seat, you can adjust that seat, or yeah, control your air conditioning, set your settings for that, all that right through here in this screen. So yeah, you can see I got plenty of headroom here, no problems at all. Okay, you can see the front here. We have our windshield wiper. It's got a plug there, so if you want to use it like a cooler, you can put ice in here and keep your beverages nice and cold. And then we also have a hook for towing, just in case we need to tow the vehicle. And that hook goes right there in that circle on the front. Just take that off and put the hook in there and tow yourself away. Yeah, so here we are at the charger. So the car was sitting out in the cold for quite a while. So it's the battery is a little cold right now. So yeah, the vehicle needs to charge for a while. It needs to heat up the battery first, and then it will go ahead and charge to the 80% that we would desire. Um, the big issue here is that it is cold out. We didn't precondition the battery, and typically you would charge in your home using either the wall charger or the mobile charger. I use a mobile charger at home, but when you're on the road, you can use the superchargers, and the superchargers. It's best to precondition your battery as you're driving to the superchargers. And usually, if you've put in a route on the maps, then what will happen is that that route will account for superchargers, and it will account for when it needs to start preconditioning the battery for charging. So it's going to be a while. So we're going to go ahead and take a little break and go into the Hy-Vee. Okay, guys. So been in there for about 10 minutes. Car's got about 5 minutes left of charging on it. And I got myself a Starbucks and some snacks for the trip tomorrow. So we're going to walk on out here to the Tesla. This might be one of those cases where having that wind guard would be helpful. We'll just see what the charge looks like when we get out there. Just to get in the vehicle, it's pretty straightforward. Just put my drink down here. Let's see. You just basically push your thumb right there, push in and open, and because you have the Tesla app, it just opens for you. Okay, guys, we're back in the demo car, the Model Y. We've got about 5 minutes left here of charging, so let's just kind of go through some things again. So controls here, you can basically fold the mirrors, you can unfold the mirrors, you can open the glove box, lock windows, child locks. You have your lights. So we're going to unfold the mirrors again. We have the parking lights on. It's just set to auto right now. We have the mirrors where you can adjust the mirrors. So you come in here and you can adjust those mirrors. You have the left and right and auto tilt, auto fold, auto dim. You can save and restore, and you can adjust the tilted position as well. Also, you have in here your steering. So you can use that to move the steering wheel up and down. You can also move it out and in. So to the right is in, to the left is out, up and down is just up and down. And then you just save that. And then also you've got Sentry mode here. So you can turn on Sentry mode or turn off Sentry mode. You can adjust. Okay, it looks like we're done charging. So let's go ahead and unplug and I'll come right back in. Yeah, pretty easy. So when you're plugging the charger in, there's a little button on top, just like the other chargers that you buy from Tesla. You push the button and your charge port opens, and you push the button to pull it out again. So yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. And so dynamics here, you can choose chill or standard. Standard means more acceleration faster. Deceleration is when it's using the regen braking, if you want it to be reduced deceleration or standard. Traction control mode, usually just on auto. Steering weight and auto shift beta. It's currently off, but on my car it's on. Basically what that does is it allows it to automatically shift in reverse when it knows you're at your garage door, or wherever you're at, it knows how to shift out of that spot. Charging information, you got the autopilot settings, full self-driving's on, how many miles, what profile to use for your standard. Right now it's set to chill. I think standard is a normal one. Then you have other settings within here for basically autopilot settings. And I'll make a video about all that some other time, but for now, this is just kind of the general idea. Knows that I'm connected to the car with my iPhone 15 Pro. And it's got these different settings for the locks when you walk away or you want the driver door unlock mode. That means that when you open the driver door, it can also open all the other doors or just open the driver door only. Safety feature. Got the light settings. So headlights are on, adaptive headlights are turned on. Headlights after exit, so they'll stay on for a little bit after you exit the vehicle at night. The footwell lights are turned on, and the accent lights are on, and I've got them turned to red. You have the seat adjustment and also the seat heating and cooling. So you can move the seats forward and back here. And you can also fold the rear two seats from the screen. And you can also turn a child lock, if there's a child seat back there or not. So you can also turn the heat on and off in the seats from here. You can go into the display and you can see the appearance of the display. You have the auto mode, you have dark mode, which looks like this. So at night, it turns the screen to dark. And then during the day, it will have light, but I just usually leave that on auto. You can also reduce blue light. You have blind spot camera, which is that little video of the cameras as you're making left and right turns. And then there's several other features in here as well. You have your schedule, so you can set preconditioning and charging in your garage when you want it to precondition the battery before leaving in the morning or leaving from work. You have the safety features here, which tons of things here. You can make changes to the service page, which is just about your tire pressure and other things. Like you can take a look at car wash mode, towing, adjusting headlights, notifications, camera preview. Lots of features here under the service tab. And then there's the software, which gives you an idea of what's in the actual version of the software you're on. You can have release notes, and that'll take you back to the actual documentation on the release notes of whatever version you're on, the owner's manual, get to know your Tesla, etc. So yeah, so you can go there. Um, you've got the navigation, so like the volume of the navigation, the automatic navigation, trip planner, online routing, avoiding tolls, avoiding ferries, avoiding highways, and third-party charging stations. So if you want to avoid those, you can also do that. This just shows your trip meter. It's kind of like that trip A, trip B type thing where you can see your current drive since last charge, or you can have a continuously running trip A or trip B. And then your full odometers at the very bottom. You have the Wi-Fi settings. So like if you are at your house, you may want to connect to your Wi-Fi so that you can download updates to your vehicle and get the latest versions. And then you have Bluetooth, so you can also pair with other Bluetooth devices. And then your auto settings, where now you can also create presets. So like if you like your settings one way, you can create a preset for yourself. And then like maybe your son likes to listen to a lot of bass, you can set a preset for him as well. And that's pretty much all the main features of the Tesla. You can customize this box here. So like, let's say you listen to Spotify a lot, you just drag that down here and put it down there on the bottom, and then that's it. If you don't want to see the music option here, you can turn that one off, and you could drag something else down there. Like maybe you often make stops where you want to look at the toy box for some reason. You could drag the toy box down there. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. All right, so let's go for a little drive to Best Buy and then back to the Holiday Inn. Hey, Grok, I need to go to Best Buy and then back to the Holiday Inn where I started.
Got Best Buy about 7/10 of a mile away, and the closest Holiday Inn 1 mile away. Setting navigation to both, then back to the hotel. Route locked in.
Thanks, Grok.
Routes. You're welcome. Safe travels.
All right, so we just push the start self-driving and away we go. Now, if you ever want to stop self-driving, all you have to do is push the right wheel button and that'll stop it. Hit the brake and it'll stop, or just change the direction with the steering wheel, like just take over the actual direction that the steering wheel is taking you, and it will basically disengage full self-driving, and then you're back in charge of the driving of the vehicle. So at that point, if your deceleration is on standard, it might slow down pretty quickly. Not super fast, but like, it'll be like somebody's braking. So yeah, so just be aware of that. Be always ready to take over when you're using FSD, because as soon as you disengage, you need to you do need to take over the vehicle, the acceleration and the steering. So a little cautious here. So again, in the later versions of FSD, you now have the drive wheel where you can change. So you just scroll up and you can see it change to hurry. You can see where you're going to park. You can go back to standard here. We can say we want to park on curbside or in a parking lot. And since it's Best Buy, we're just going to go ahead and park in the parking lot. So that is our plan. So we are in standard mode, and it's going to keep it right around the speed limit, maybe just 1 or 2% more. So not much. So enjoy the ride to Best Buy, and we'll see how well it does with parking when we get to the parking lot. Okay, we're at Best Buy here. Let's see how FSD does with
Now your
parking.
destination
So,
is on the left.
since version 14, the vehicle will now pull into a parking lot and it will try to park on its own. Um, Not a very good spot, so it decided not to park there because it was pretty tight. So, I'm okay with parking further away. So, let's see what it does here. Okay, so that's the end of that part of the trip. So, let's go ahead and go into Best Buy. Okay, guys, we are done with our shopping trip to Best Buy. So we are heading back to the final destination, which is back at the Holiday Inn to park this thing back where we got it from. So let's start.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Dexter Court, then turn left onto Elmore Avenue.
Okay, so yeah, Model Y experience. Totally, I like it. I do think this would be a better fit for me in the future. Obviously, right now, I've only had my Model 3 for a year, but maybe when I get closer to retirement in another year or so here, maybe it'll be time to trade in for the Model Y. So we're heading back to the Holiday Inn.
Now turn right onto Dexter Court.
Just some last final thoughts on this vehicle. Definitely feels a lot like the Model 3, it just sits a little higher. Um, I like the way that the interior looks, even in black. It's pretty nice. My Model 3 has a white interior, but this black interior is pretty good as well. Um, Loud gas car there. But yeah, so it's a nice ride. Feels good. You can even see in over there in the sticker in the window it says demo drive today. So there's a uh, you can scan that right there and take this car for a ride anytime if you're just over at the Holiday Inn. Yeah, it's pretty easy to get into one of these for a test drive and to experience it for yourself, see what full self driving is all about. Um, and if you happen to be one of my friends and you've never been in a Tesla before, I'd be willing to even take you out for a full self driving experience in my car. Let you drive, let you experience it yourself. Um, but yeah, this it feels just like the Model 3 does so far. Just sits up a little higher, a little bit more comfortable from that perspective, getting in and out for me. Um, but in general, it's pretty much the same. Great car, great experience, full self driving, totally amazing. Um, I would recommend it to anybody and everybody. So if you're like older than 60 and you're concerned about driving a Tesla and using full self driving, I'll tell you right now that it might actually be the best thing for you because if you are not so good at driving or if you feel uncomfortable driving anymore, this vehicle can pretty much get you from point A to point B without any problems. You can use the Grok integration to have it set your navigation for you now with version 14, so that's pretty nice. But in general, yeah, great experience, full self driving, totally worth it, even if you're over 60 years old, even if you're older 70. So, like, if you're, um, having trouble getting around town and don't like driving at night, this
In
car can
1,000
drive
feet,
there
turn left.
for you. So, definitely try it, experience it. And if you decide to buy a Tesla, see my referral link in the description. If you want to go for a test drive,
Now
there's
turn
a
left.
link also in the description for that with my referral code. So if you decide to buy after trying one, um, simply just go
In
and
500
click that
feet,
link
your destination will be on
and
the
it
right.
will save you up to $1,000 on your purchase. Now, if you also are a military veteran, I believe there's still a discount for veterans. When I purchased my car, they gave me an additional $500 off
Now your
for
destination
that
is on the
reason.
right.
And so, yeah, totally recommend it. So let's go into our parking spot here. I'm just going to disengage full self-driving unless it knows exactly where to go. I don't think it does. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it where to park. So we're going to use this feature that I'm surprised that nobody else has parked this way yet, but I like to park in the parking spots in reverse, and we're just going to click our spot, hit the park button, and let it do the parking for us. So you can see it's going to line us up next to the Tesla on the right there. A little bit. It's going to have to readjust. Now, in later versions of the software, this got much better. So in 14.2.2, this is like a one-shot deal. It can pull into a parking spot even backwards without having to readjust. But still, this vehicle is on a little bit older version, so still takes a couple of adjustments. Well, that's it, guys, for this test drive of the Model Y here in Davenport. So, yeah, use my links down in the description to take a test drive yourself and save yourself up to $1,000 if you purchase. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So please comment, like, and subscribe below. Have a great day.